Morning guys, Mark Fresh, Protect Dog Training. It's about the 7th of the month. We're moving a little bit more towards winter all the time, and that end of the year season as far as we just passed through Halloween, and now we're moving towards Thanksgiving and Christmas, end of year. So things change right about this time of year. I find that business drops off a little bit because of the fact that people are more conscientious and more aware of the end of the year type of pattern in their lifestyles, right? So it's always a slower time of year for us dog trainers, for the most part, because spending money goes down because they're saving for their Christmas tree, presents under the Christmas tree, and end of year type of behavior patterns, right? So I am on my way right now down to Bass Pro again with the baby and with Ghost, whose Ghost is going to be ending his training period on the 15th, so we're trying to stay on top of him and then take advantage of this time of year. Right now it's the middle of the week, it's a Tuesday, it's going to be dead slow down here, and it's overcast, cold. It's a good day to go back in. So the goal is, again, you hear me talking about this all the time, the powers of 2s and 3s. What do I mean when I say that? It's to do things in pattern sets of 2 and 3 times at a time when I'm doing a specific behavior. Let's say I'm walk 2-3 steps, stop and get the dog to sit. I do it once, I do it twice, I do it 3 times. I break and I do some other stuff and I come back to that same pattern set again. So that's one aspect of the powers of 2s and 3s. But it gets a lot deeper than that, guys. It goes to the point of just like what I'm doing right now. I've decided I'm going to increase my environmental for Jezzy, and I'm going out on a dead time. I'm evaluating my time of the day, time of the week, etc. The atmosphere is going to be a lot slower down there, a lot less foot traffic, a lot less mental pressure on the dog because there's a lot fewer people at the time that I'm going down. It's 9:30 in the morning now. By the time I walk through the door, it's going to be about 10, and it's a perfect time to get her used to that environment, to a point where it becomes like old homes week, right? You walk in there, she goes, oh, I know where I'm at, and she gets happy and gets comfortable with that same environment, those same patterns of things that I'm doing. And everything is a power of 2s and 3s. The stairway, the waterfall is one. The elevator is another. Downstairs with Ghost is another. How you mix things up and how you do things in pattern sets that all add up to the same thing happening again and again, and realizing it's not just doing it once and walking away. We've got to do it numerous times and slowly build up to succeeding with what we're after. What are we after? We're out to build strength in the animal, because no matter what you see with all these people getting into the sport and doing all their stuff into specific criteria for whatever sport they may be into to get their trophies and their ribbons and all that, I don't live in that world. I could give a shit about a trophy or a ribbon. What I do care about is where that dog's head's at in the work and his strength. Because if I build strength within that animal and how I build an animal and what I put them through in their development as puppies, with strength comes everything else I need. I can teach him anything I need to teach him. I can do anything I want to do with him. I can do everything if I have strength. But if I'm always trying to fight my way through weakness, and the dog's either genetically weak or environmentally weak because things haven't been done in those critical development periods in the right way, I will be having to fight weakness through the whole life of that dog, and I'll always have to face that, right? We don't want to have that happen. So we build strength as much as we can, very slow, methodical. Kind of think of it like tightening down a screw. I very slowly tighten down the screw. There's more, and pretty soon that pressure is a lot more on that animal because I built the dog up to be able to accept it and handle that, right? That's the key, right? And I can teach the dog anything and do anything with that dog if I've got strength, right? If I don't, I'll be fighting weakness and trying to fight my way through it for the rest of the dog's life. I won't have the same success if I have the mental attitude that I have in my work with that animal and development of that animal, right? So, all right, let me let you go. I thank you very much for listening to my Yack session as always, and I will talk to you soon. The powers of 2s and 3s. That's what I live by, right? So, hopefully you've been following me long enough that you guys can understand it and understand what I'm talking about and the depth of how deep that whole concept is. When I do just patterns of 2s and 3s and maybe a behavior, and on the table and the bowls and that kind of thing, that's just the surface, right? It gets a lot deeper in what I'm doing with the animal. But it all really revolves around that core of patterns of 2s and 3s and learning, and how animals learn and how they develop, right? Including us, including your children, right? All right, I'll let you guys go. Mark Ferrasci, Pro Tech Dog Training, signing off. You guys have a good day. Bye-bye.